AmericanMuscleLives.com. The 1970 Cougar XR7 project.
Okay, we're going to do this because we do everything on MustangMedic and we do the make goods, all right. Nothing. What did you say? That's an including cost. That's fine. All right, so what is the game plan with this car?
I'll color sand it.
So you don't think it needs to get repainted?
You know what? Honestly, I was looking at it and hitting a couple spots more and more. I don't know if it's just as clear as partnership to color sand or what, but we hit it. We knocked the whole thing down with 1,000 and then 1,500.
What do you plan on doing with the paint company, the clear coat?
But I'm gonna sand it down to see how much of that I can go ahead and get out of there. But I'm gonna do it with a DA. I'm not gonna do it.
That was my question. Why don't you go, since Alan said too that it's got bad paint on it. In other words, the clear coat's clearly wrong. So why don't you take it back to the paint company, have them, maybe they do a make-up and give you a free clear coat?
The problem is, the stuff I had, I've been doing a lot of spots. I did a couple completes, and I had a kit to do a complete, and it sat for about 8 months. And that's what I think might have been the issue, is the fact that it sat. And then when I was shooting it, it was just, literally it was drying before it was hitting the car. So that's, I mean, I think the clear maybe sat for too long, because the stuff does have a shelf life.
What are you going to do about that?
That, I'm going to sort that out. I mean, that's no problem.
You're going to color blend that, aren't you?
Yeah, but this is white. This is cake. This is, I mean.
It's an off-white though, it's like a banana.
Yeah, no, it's Wimbledon white.
Wimbledon white?
Yeah, this I have the paint formula for. This when I was there. This is there's 2 dings, one here, and one, I want to say upper here.
So you're thinking about polishing it and clear coating it again?
Well, I'm going to DA this down first.
Yeah.
I did it by hand. And when you do it by hand, you only go in so deep.
Because what are these marks, these rub marks that are going across here all the time?
Well, that was a lot of times we color sanded it. We did it by hand. We didn't do it with a DA. A DA will knock a lot more of that down.
But these marks here, these rub marks, they're like this. Why is it like that?
Well, that's from color sanding it by hand.
And then they didn't polish it?
And they didn't polish it up. I went around with my guy, honestly. I got really pissed because there's a couple spots there and on the other side where you see stuff like that, it just hasn't been polished.
Well, it's all over here.
Yeah, it just hasn't been polished. So, well, it's just been sitting
and this thing, like the glue in here, I think it needs like a bead of silicone or something because it looks really unclean on the actual stripping and the vinyl top. Where the seams are, it doesn't look finished. All that glue, see it, all the glue sticking out there? That one's even worse on that side.
I see a little bit of glue here toward the edge. Together. It still has a little
No,
bit
I see how it's level. It's just that when it actually gets glossy.
Yeah, you're going to see it. You're going to notice it more.
I'm concerned about it. You know?
Also, too, this quarter extension was knocked in a little bit this way. I just knocked it out. That was not a big deal.
And what about this area that's really rough? Like really rough. I don't think there's paint on there.
This right here, I'm going to color sand
All
it.
across here.
I'm going to color sand this back here to see how much of this I can get out of here. And I mean, like I said, it'll be either color sanded, knocked down. It'll be shiny. It'll be finished. So.
And the paint that ran down on the other side.
I think there's a run in here. There's a couple runs in the clear. Those will come out. Those will come out.
Clear, Chris. This is where it's running right here. It's high up here and here. Feel the height of the paint, and then it runs down here.
Well, what I'd like to do is I want to color sand this, and in the next couple days, you know, I can come out here and I can buy you lunch and you can take a look at it once it's color sanded. Because most of that stuff, I'm not too worried about anything in the paint and the clear, just because most of that's going to come out once I knock it down.
So what you want to do? You want to color sand in the next 2 days, have us come out and determine whether it's going to be clear coat.
Yes,
that's the plan.
That's the best way to go, I think.
All right, Jim. Chris is going to stand behind his work and he's going to do it. So here's the video of checking out the paint job, the adjustments we're going to make. Within the next week, we should have a finished car for you, and we're doing it right here. So that's the update on the Mercury. Do a quick pan of the car, will you, Carlos?
Now, the only thing with the vinyl top is I see what you're. I mean, for me, I see what you're saying. This should look pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Just from here, you can see all the glue behind it. It probably just needs a bead of black silicone in there would probably do it.
I can put some silicone in here. Originally what they did was they took off this whole drip rail molding. The whole molding came off. But then you gotta remove the weather stripping and that, I mean, that's not gonna be reusable. You gotta take this whole thing apart and then you wrap the molding around the top of the vinyl.
Did they take this off?
No, they're not. Because to take this off,
This side's further away than that side is. Wait, like by a quarter inch. And I don't know why. I don't remember seeing a big gap. I didn't look very close at it. See a big gap in there? That's if you stick your fingers in it, you can't do it on that side.
you're right.
I know.
It's not off it. I mean, it's on there. Definitely.
But this glue and all this stuff's gotta get shaved off. You know what I mean? It's just gotta look clean.
I can go in here with a razor.
I mean, I'm able to do the due diligence. I'll clean all this stuff up with polish.
Well, this honestly, I was really quite surprised that when I maxed everything off, we managed not to get damn near anything on the trim.
Yeah, no, just the trim.
It does go. Yeah.
It's bad. And you gotta do wire wheel on the tires. I know they're bad tires.
No, yeah,
But
they got
paint's gonna come off the
No,
tire.
I'll get some reducer on. That's not a problem. You know what is one issue too that's bizarre, and I did talk to my paint supplier about it. That stripe, I knocked that stripe down.
You can feel it.
No, I knocked it down 110%. The only thing I think is left is the adhesive or some crap behind it.
The problem is when you color sand it, aren't you running out of paint?
Well, no, I'm gonna knock that down. The stripe is noticeable.
All right, so this is Chris Kirk Brothers. He's gonna make it good. So we're gonna come back out here in about 2 days. We're gonna look at it after it's color sanded, determine whether it needs another coat of clear coat on it, Jim, and then we're gonna go from there. So we are on it. You're gonna like this car when you get it, Jim.
AmericanMuscleLives.com, your resource for American muscle. Any car, as long as it's American and it's got muscle, will be on AmericanMuscleLives.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your interest in AmericanMuscleLives.com.